The state of Washington is the 13th most populated state of the United States and lies on the northern Pacific coast. Home to one of the busiest seaports in the world, Washington stands as one of the most economically expansive in spite of the current recession. Statewide median incomes as of the 2010 census hover around $50,000, which means most households are in the position of affording a car purchase. It also means that households looking to buy a car will use some of the financing to better manage the purchase. Washington's substantial middle-class population makes it a busy center for ordinary financial transactions. But with so many people within arm's length of changing economic status, it means many people in Washington will be looking at bad credit car loans. Bad credit car loans come with a price. Since a consumer with poor credit carries a higher risk of defaulting on any sort of financing, lenders will attach higher interest rates. On average, interest rates for bad credit car loans can exceed 10% above current prime lending rates. Washington state law regarding usury, however, provides a cap on interest at 12% under most financing circumstances. This rate cap is to prevent abusive lending practices, which can occur among a population that might be considered desperate to find car loans. Consumers with bad credit are in a uniquely vulnerable state when it comes to car loans. Fortunately, the state of Washington provides for consumer protections in addition to the federal government's protections against predatory lending practices. Where a consumer might be willing to take extraordinary chances in securing auto loans, certain unsavory lenders might try to take advantage of the situation in order to increase their profits by a wide margin. The vast majority of lenders are honest business people who only want to make a living and provide a useful service to the Washington public. In determining if a lender is working in the best interest of the consumer, customers need to only ask a few questions of themselves. Does the lender make all of its loan conditions available for examination prior to signing any documents? Does the lender require a processing fee up front? Does the lender push the customer into signing the contract before the application is completely filled out? Does the lender ask the customer to fudge certain entries on the application? Any lender who refuses to make available all loan fees, conditions, terms, and interest prior to the signing of the agreement has something to hide, usually overinflated costs and interest rates just low enough to avoid criminal charges. Likewise, paying for services before they've actually been rendered signals fraud, as there is no guarantee that a lender who charges fees up front will render anything after it's collected the money. Signing a loan agreement before all the blanks have been filled in is an invitation for fraud, as the lender may then fill in any information it wants, irrespective of the desires of the borrower. With this kind of leeway, the borrower may find him or herself stuck with a car loan that could ruin that person's finances. Additionally, agreeing to fudge information on an application is agreeing to participate in fraud. This leads to further victimization, as the borrower is now on the hook for falsifying a loan contract, which leaves him or her in the position of being a co-conspirator in the lender's act of fraud. It's surprising the number of people who wouldn't call the cops when in this position, but people foolish enough to walk into this situation are seldom prosecuted and are treated as any crime victim. As mentioned before, the state of Washington does provide consumers with protections from unscrupulous lending companies and offers services to help recover from the damages these companies can cause in the financial lives of ordinary people. While many consumers feel helpless when they've been taken advantage of by these miscreants, they should never feel as though they can't call for help from the proper authorities, consumer advocate groups, or from a private attorney. Shopping for bad credit auto loans should put a consumer behind the wheel of a car and not in the courtroom. Federal auto loan. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, all good.